Ballet is for everyone, and now it's for anyone who has a computer. We're Anaheim Ballet. This is More Than Dance, Season 2. Pointe shoes. Seems like no matter how many podcasts we do on these things, we still get questions and comments. When do I get to go on pointe? What were the first pointe shoes like? Etc., etc. Well, they're really cool, so we're going to try to answer some of your questions today. We've got two very special guests on board to help us out. Our first guest is Dr. Diane Howe. She's a legit PhD, a dance writer, and a dance educator. We're really happy to have her aboard, and she's going to be just giving us a brief overview on the creation and the evolution of the pointe shoe. So take it away, Doctor.
The original shoes that the ballerinas wore when they went on pointe were not what we consider pointe shoes. They were very much like our soft slippers that we wear in class. The shoe was satin. It had a pliable sole and just a little bit of the darning. The Italians then took that idea and developed it a little bit further. They created a platform that is this broad base at the end of the shoe for the dancer to stand on, and had a little bit of a box. There still were no nails in the shoe, and so it was just the satin and a little bit of a reinforced sole to it. Still needed a lot of strength from the dancer. The Russians needed a stronger shoe to give the dancer some support. They strengthened the sole of the shoe. They broadened the platform of it and increased a little bit of strength in the box. Later, the Russians started strengthening the shoe even more. The Russian shoes then, and the shoes that we get here in the U.S. since then, have developed quite a bit. They've experimented with different products to increase the strength and the viability of the shoe. A shoe doesn't have a very long life in a professional company. Quite often it would only be a single performance because it still needs to be soft and silent to be able to do the Bournonville work, and it needs to be very strong and such to do the contemporary ballet work. So we expect a lot of our pointe shoe.
And a lot of you are expecting to go on pointe. Segway!
One of the questions we get most frequently is, when do I go on pointe? Or why can't I be on pointe right now? And I can tell you very definitely, I don't know. I have no idea when you're going to go on pointe. The thing that's important about pointe work is that you're properly prepared and your body's ready for it. So you can't really say exactly what age or what month it's going to happen, but it's really up to your coach, up to your teacher. And your teacher's going to look very carefully to see that you're ready for pointe work. And that means that not only are your feet strong and your bones developed enough to sustain the weight, but also that you're using your seat, you're using your stomach muscles, you're using your inner thighs, that your entire body works to pull the weight up out of your shoes. It's really, really important. And when your body's ready to do it and your soft shoe technique is also strong, then you're going to create a certain illusion. You have a big responsibility when you work in pointe shoes. It's not just a question of can you go up on the tips of your toes, it's can you create an illusion. That illusion is being superhuman. You know, we're also asked as an adult, if someone starts as dance training as an adult, if they will be able to go on pointe. And I'd say almost always the answer is yes. If the person trains regularly, properly, and is strong enough, and the same muscle strength that we talk about with younger people applies to them, if they've developed their strength in their stomach and their seat and their inner thighs, their feet, they're definitely going to go on pointe as well.
The last question we get, and we get this one a lot, is why don't guys go on pointe? Well, back in the day, and by back in the day we're talking the 1800s, they needed a way to make it look like ladies were flying and floating, and they didn't have CG or special effects, so they put the ladies on pointe shoes. What about the guys? They just expected them to jump higher. Nothing like an angry mob of dudes in tights to end a podcast. Hey, this has been Anaheim Ballet More Than Dance, the world's first weekly ballet video podcast and YouTube channel. Hey, just real quick, thank you to all of our subscribers and viewers because our views have been going up and our subscriptions, so thanks so much for that. Next week we start that mini-series, a ton of dancing, so if you've learned too much in the last 2 episodes, just a bunch of dancing coming up. Stay tuned for that. We'll be back next week. Thanks so much, guys.